Hello everyone. In the previous session, we have learned Introduction to Fact Devices. In this session, we will be dealing with the topic Transmission Interconnections Power Flow in AC Systems. The transmission interconnection power flow in AC system can be explained by considering two cases: power flow in parallel path system and power flow in meshed network. Power flow in parallel path system again can be explained by considering different examples. Example 1. In this figure, there are two generation areas. A simple case power flow through parallel paths from a surplus generation area shown on the left side to a defect generation area shown on the right. And transmission line 1 consists of an impedance X, transmission line 2 consists an impedance of 2X. So without any control, power flow is based on the inverse of the various transmission line impedance. So we have the relation of power P is equal to Vs VR by X sin delta, where Vs is sending end voltage, VR receiving end voltage, X is the impedance of the transmission line, and sin delta is the phase angle. From this relation, we have P is inversely proportional to the X, that is inversely proportional to the impedance. So as shown from the figure, it is observed the transmission line 1 carries more power than the transmission line 2 because of low impedance. Here 2/3 of the power can be carried by this transmission line because of this low impedance compared to transmission line 2. Because of high impedance, only we can transmit 1/3 of the power from this generation area to this generation area up to the load. In this case, so by sending more power in this transmission line, sometimes it is overloaded, which cross the thermal limit of this transmission line, which is not desirable. And for a high impedance path, it carries low power flow and it is also not desirable. So second case shows, this figure shows the same parallel paths, but one of the parallel path here is HVDC transmission line. It is the same AC transmission line, and the second parallel path is HVDC transmission line. Now the power has to be transmitted from this surplus generation area to the defect generation area. So with HVDC, power flows as ordered by the operator. So we can transmit the entire power through this HVDC as ordered by the consumer or by the operator, because in HVDC, power electronic converters, the power is electronically controlled with the help of sufficient power electronic converters. As it is electronically controlled, the HVDC line can be used to its full thermal capacity with the help of these controls. That means we can transmit to its thermal capacity in this HVDC transmission line because of these fast control converters. And also because of high speed control, it can also help to improve the stability of the parallel AC transmission line. However, so HVDC is very expensive for general use, because HVDC usually considered for long distances. For short distances, so we cannot use HVDC line because it leads to high expensive. And in the third case, we are introducing the controllers. So variable impedance here by the help of this device, by the help of this FACT device, that is FACT controllers, we can add here in this transmission line. So we can change the impedance of the transmission line with the help of this FACT controller. So by changing the impedance of the line, we can also change the power flow as our requirement, as desired by the operator. And second figure shows the phase angle regulator. It's also a fully thyristor controlled FACT device. So by changing the phase angle, we can also change the real power, so that we can transmit the power as desired. So by introducing the FACT devices, so we can transmit the power as our requirement. And maximum power flow can in fact be limited to its rated limit under some contingency conditions. That is it has some limitations, and when this line is expected to carry more power, so due to the loss of a parallel line. Or we can also transmit the power by injection of appropriate voltage. So finally, by the FACT controllers, we can control the power flow as our requirement. And case 2, power flow in measured system. In this figure, generation 1 generates 2000 megawatts and generation 2 1000 megawatts, and the total required load is 3000 megawatts. Impedances of the transmission line you can see here, 10 ohms for AC transmission line, and here 10 ohms and 5 ohms. The power can transmit here is 2000 megawatts. It is generating area is 2000 megawatts here. So 14 megawatts, 1400 megawatts is transferring through AC transmission line, and 600 megawatts is through AB. And here the generation is 1000 megawatts, but the power carrying in this transmission line is 1600 megawatts. So we can observe the line BC is overloaded, because we need to transmit only 1000 megawatts. Because of this low impedance, the power transmitting through this transmission line is overloaded. So at that time, we have to decrease this generation at generator 2, and we can increase the generation at generation 1. So in order to avoid this 1600 megawatts, if you increase the generation from 2000 megawatts to, say for example, 2600 megawatts, so that this line carries 2000 megawatts, and here if you reduce to this 500 megawatts or 400 megawatts, 400 plus this 600 megawatts, total 1000 megawatts will carry through this transmission line, and 2000 megawatts through this transmission line. Total 3000 megawatts would be delivered to the load. That means in these situations, so you have to increase the generation at generation A, and that means generator area 1, and you can reduce the generation at generator 2. And second example, for the same system, and the required load is 3000 megawatts. We are adding a series capacitor in this transmission line. By adding this series capacitor, the entire impedance of this transmission line reduces to 5 ohms. Initially it is 10 ohms. By adding this series capacitor of minus 5 ohms, the net impedance is 5 ohms. Because of this low impedance, it carries more power. Okay. Again, so we can see the 2000 megawatts. Because of this low impedance, it carries more power. Say 2000 megawatts, and this here 1000 megawatt is generating. The total 2000 plus 1000, 3000 would be transmitted or would be delivered to the load. So without overloading any lines. So if the series capacitor is thyristorically controlled, it can be varied whenever required. And sometimes, since it is a mechanically switched, the number of operations should be limited. And sometimes it may lead to subsynchronous resonance, because if number of operations increases by varying, since it is a mechanical device, if number of operations increases means there is a chance to change the subsynchronous frequency. So which affects on the generator shaft. Because of power flow oscillations, the generator may lose synchronism and may the entire system will collapse. And the other example or the other option is the impedance of the line BC can be increased by inserting an inductor of reactance. 7 ohms reactor is added to this transmission line. So the total net reactance here it is 12 ohms. So 12 ohms means the impedance of this line is high compared to the impedance of this line. So more power can be transmitted through this line, that is up to 2000 megawatts we can go. Here 1000 megawatts. So the entire 3000 megawatts would be delivered to this load. This is the other option. And one more example is by implementing or by inserting a phase regulator, phase angle regulator. This phase angle regulator could be installed in any one of the transmission line. Suppose if initially the phase angle is 8.5 degrees. If we change this phase angle by this phase angle controller to 4.26 degrees, or depending upon the requirement we can change this phase angle. So from 8.5 degrees to less than this 8.5 degrees. So that what happens, since the real power is proportional to sine delta, if we decrease the phase angle of this transmission line, correspondingly the sine delta increases. If sine delta increases, since it is proportional to the real power P, the real power of the transmission line increases. So instead of 1750, this line can transmit 2000 megawatts, and instead of 1250 here 1000 megawatts. Total 2000 megawatts plus 1000 megawatts, 3000 megawatts would be delivered to the load. So in this way we can transmit the AC power with the parallel paths or through the machine networks by adding fact controllers which can control the power, and we can transmit the power as desired or as per the requirement of the operator.